It's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Just got off of work, so let's go ahead and test out this new unit. This is going to be the Extreme Physical Type Lord Slug Giant Form version. So let's cover the stats a little bit. This is a server test, so the servers are going to stats are going to differ a little bit to what actuality is. Like the potential level skills are maxed out and whatnot, but in terms of the leader skill, he does have the Giant category lead plus 3 key HP attack and defense increase of 120%. And also for extreme physical types, plus 3 key HP attack and defense increase of 70%. The super attack is the Darkness Eye Beam, causes supreme damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. The legendary Super Namekian is the passive skill that'll add 80% to attack and defense. Additional attack of 50% also for 5 turns after receiving an attack. Medium chance to turn into the giant form up to 2 times. Link skills, he's got Metamorphosis that'll add, recovers 5% HP. Namekians will also recover 5% in HP. Big Bad Bosses will add 25% to attack and defense when HP is 80% or below. Thirst for Conquest will add 15%. Nightmare also adds 10% to attack. Shattering the Limit will add plus 2 key. And Transform will also add plus 2 key. He does fall into 3 categories, movie bosses, giant, and Namekian. So those are pretty much the categories he's in. 12 key multiplier is 140%. And obviously he does have the ability to go into the giant form, and you'll see that periodically throughout the video. For the most part, you are going to see him linked up with the Agility Turles unit, just because he is very good in terms of providing the passive skills that'll help the rest of the team out, like plus 3 key and 40% increase to attack for all allies. That's definitely going to help. And then, when they're facing these super class type enemies, it's going to reduce their attack by 15%. So, a lot of factors within that passive skill. And then, once he actually transforms, he can reduce the I think super type enemies defense by 80%, so pretty substantial difference in terms of the difference he could make on a team as a support unit. I mean, he can hit pretty hard as it is, but he does provide a very nice passive skill assistance to the rest of the team. So that's why you'll see him linked up with him throughout the most part. I will have him linked up with the TEQ Lord Slug also, just because they do share a variety of link skills. I kind of wanted to avoid linking them up together as much as possible, just because they have the ability to recover HP, and in order to activate Big Bad Bosses, kind of needed to keep them separate at times. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't link them up together the whole the whole video. And although he is a Giants category lead and does fall in that category, I decided to go with the movie boss category, just because one, Turles does provide a pretty substantial boost, but I don't know, the link skills just seem better overall in a movie boss category, like Thirst for Conquest and all sorts of link skills. So Big Bad Boss is definitely a link skill that is shared amongst a lot of units. Brutal Beatdown is another one that's relative. Well, Brutal Beatdown isn't a link skill of his. I was looking at the Turles stats, but Nightmare is the other link skill that Lord Slug shares with a lot of units in the movie boss category. So those are all the reasons why I went with this team setup for this showcase. So I did also try to make sure that he did get hit before getting his super attack, just because it does provide that additional, I think, 50% increase to attack. So that definitely does make a difference too. Limitation is 5 turns, unfortunately, but as long as he gets attacked first every time he's up, I think he'll be in good shape. So this is the giant form right now, and you know, the frequency of it definitely will increase if he's on a giant category with the Tapion lead, or even himself being as a leader. But since it is a movie boss category, it's, you know, it's really sporadic, but just kind of wanted to include the footage of it on here just because he does have that skill set. And this is a pretty nice what is it, transition, I guess. You know, after giant form, he's going into the Turles is transforming into his form. So you can see both versions have transformed. So the enemy is a super type, so defense is gonna drop by 80% each. So that's a hell of a reduction. So you know, hopefully we see kind of a nice little damage output here. Unfortunately, he's not attacking first. I just wanted to make sure he was able to get a super attack, so the 50% won't apply here because it's been well over 5 turns. So 800,000 looks like there. So 333,000, not much in damage there, unfortunately, but it is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So, you know, against different types of enemies, he'll probably be able to put out much more higher output. Looks like, yeah, he's going to go into Dokkan mode here, so let's see how he does against Gogeta.
What we do here is go back.
I'm kind of on the fence about how many stones I want to use on this banner. I think I've got roughly about 100 right now saved. I might end up purchasing a little bit, probably nothing extravagant. I don't think I'm gonna go that hard on this one. Chances are likely it'll be probably, well, I don't know. Is it gonna? It might be the Rising Dragon double rate banner. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a Dokkan festival. I kind of doubt it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the double rate banner. That's my guess anyway. So in that sense, you know, it is guaranteed SSR, and you're doubling the rates of, you know, SSR pickups. So, you know, it might not be a bad one to pull. Plus, you know, LR Bardock is now going to be featured. So there's a lot of, you know, I mean, temptations regarding, you know, pulling on, well, every single banner, honestly. But, you know, I try to be kind of conservative about how often I do pull, but we'll see what happens, I guess. So much higher in output here, 1.475. He did get hit, and then Turles is providing that 40% increase to attack as well. So you're definitely seeing, you know, the benefits of, you know, those combinations there. And unfortunately, it's a little bit hard to activate the big bad bosses right now, just because you know, every unit is maxed out. So it's, you know, they're very powerful, and you know, don't take damage too much. So that's unfortunately the problem with these tests sometimes. But he is still able to hit for about 1.5 million. Really not bad there. Looks like I barely missed Dokkan mode there, unfortunately. But we'll see how he does. 1.74, so a little bit better. So having both of the Turles in the rotation definitely does help, since both of them provides the passive skill boost. Looks like we are going to get Dokkan mode here. It is type disadvantage, but you know, regardless, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll definitely plan on farming the tech free-to-play version, you know, since it is free-to-play. Definitely going to grind a little bit, make sure I get his SA to max, and then I'll probably unlock all 4 dude paths. I don't know about investing orbs or not, but you know, at least get the initial work done. So 1.1 million, really, I mean, that's actually not bad considering it was type disadvantage. So even though it was Dokkan mode, I think that was a good enough output that it was respectable. So you can definitely tell the difference between his attack, you know, depending on if he gets attacked first versus not. So it looks like it definitely, you know, makes a difference. That 50% definitely does add up, and it seems to be the case that, you know, you can definitely tell, you know, based on how the format is. Alright, so he does have type advantage against the Angel Golden Frieza, so, you know, we'll kind of go through this and finish up. But, you know, overall, it's definitely an interesting unit. He does, I mean, he's a pretty decent unit. He can hit pretty decently, and he does have the ability to defend as well. Also got the ability to go into the giant form, so overall, not a bad unit. And I guess a combination of these two guys, I mean, they can recover a lot of HP, so that actually does help also. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick showcase, and thanks for watching.